Now, to begin our program, I'd like to call upon Phillipa McDermott to acknowledge country. Phillipa is the Chairperson of Bangarra Dance Theatre, Board Member of the Australian Indigenous Leadership Centre, Lead Indigenous Employment and Diversity at the ABC, and UTS Indigenous Alumni of the Year. Welcome, Phillipa.
Thank you, Phillipa, and good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for having me here tonight. As Phillipa said, and people do get us confused, by the way, I'm McDermott, Phillipa McDonald, and we both worked at the ABC, so we used to get each other's emails all the time as well. So I'm a proud Mulunjali and Waka Waka woman, and I've been honoured to have been asked by cousin or cuz Amit, that I'm now calling him cuz instead of cousin, teaching him our Indigenous slang there, to do the Acknowledgement of Country. So, of course, I would like to thank and acknowledge that we are on Gadigal land tonight, the land of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. I pay my respects to elders past and present and emerging leaders of the future. I acknowledge their stories, that they teach us and that guide us. I also pay my respects to other Indigenous people here in the room tonight. Uncle John Moriarty here, one of our senior elders. I acknowledge your cultural authority, Uncle, from where you are from, and any other Indigenous people who are in the room tonight as well. While we always acknowledge our Indigenous elders, I'd also like to pay my respect to all of your elders as well. Because, of course, for their wisdom, if it wasn't for their wisdom and their love and the lessons that they've taught us, you all wouldn't be here tonight either. And so many of us are blessed to live and work on this beautiful and magnificent Gadigal country. While it's not my family's country or traditional country, and my country is Mulunjali, as I said, which actually means scorched earth people because of our black volcanic soil. The Mulunjali area stretches from Tweed Heads in northern New South Wales round Mount Warning, which is a volcano, hence the black soil, up to southern Queensland to Bow Desert. And that's my grandfather's country. And my grandmother's traditional country is Waka Waka country in central Queensland, that of the Burnett region. And some of the reasons why Indigenous Australians are always acknowledging where we're from, and we acknowledge and say what country we are from, is because it helps to define us. So firstly, acknowledging country is thanking and paying respects to the elders of the country that you're on and acknowledging that they are the custodians of that land. But also when we acknowledge who we are and where we're from, as Professor Mick Dodson would explain, when we talk about country, we mean something beyond the dictionary definition of the word. For us, it might mean homeland or tribal or clan areas, and it's much more than just a place on the map. For us, country is a word for all the values, the places, the resources, the stories, and the cultural obligations associated with the area that we are from and the features of that area. It describes the entirety of our ancestral domains and our laws and our dreaming. While we may not have Western title to our land, we are still connected to our country and the country of our ancestors, and we consider ourselves custodians and caretakers. That's why it's important for us to explain where we're from, because that custodianship also comes with responsibility for law and obligations. We might meet another Indigenous person in the street or even here tonight, and when you say what your country is, then they might know that their story and their country is connected to your story or your songline, and that will set the terms of the relationship that you have with that person, which also might come with its own set of specific protocols that you would need to observe with that person from then on. So that's why acknowledging country and and acknowledging the country that you're on and where you come from is so important to us. I would like to thank Affinity for always incorporating a welcome or an acknowledgement of country into all of their official events, and for all of the great work that they do in bringing all of our various faiths and cultures together. So I wish you a successful event this evening, and salam alaikum.